There are tons of hotly anticipated games coming out next year, from Diablo 4 to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm not going to be talking about those games in this video because everybody already knows about those games. I just finished watching the PC gaming show, and there's quite a few games that jumped out to me that I think are probably going to be under the radar. So I figured I'd make a video of games that I'm adding to my wish list for next year. But first, I want to thank the sponsor for today's video, and that's Basis. I can't tell you the number of times that I've been out and about and either myself, my wife, or one of my kids needs something charged, whether it be a phone, a tablet, a laptop, or even a Steam Deck or a Nintendo Switch. That's where battery banks are super useful. This is the Basis 65 watt, 20,000 milliamp hour battery charger. It's got two USB-A ports, a micro USB and a USB-C port, and it has a little screen which tells you how full it is. This one I actually bought with my own money before Basis reached out to me. When they reached out to me, they said that they were going to send me this. This is the Basis 100 watt, 20,000 milliamp hour battery bank. It has two USB-A ports and two USB-C ports. The big difference, other than form factor, between these two is that the Basis Blade will charge things faster because it can charge at up to 100 watts. It has a little screen on it which tells you not only how charged it is, but how long it's going to take for you to fill it up and how long it's going to take in order to discharge it when you're charging other things. So if you're looking for a good way to charge all of your electronics and you want to support the show, click on the link in the description down below. Support our sponsors and support the channel. All right, let's get back to the video. First up is Ravenbound. Ravenbound is a fast-paced action game that combines the challenge of a roguelite with the choices of an open world. They say that you grow with each life. I assume that they mean death, as permadeath is definitely a feature in this game. And each time you die, you take all of the things that your characters learned, your skills, and like whatever you've gained, and that goes to the Raven, which then passes that stuff along to the next avatar. Then you go back into that open world and try again. Whenever you talk about roguelike games, I always immediately get interested in those. And then combining that with an open world, I feel like that's going to be pretty compelling. Plus, I think the art style looks good, and the combat animations look really good as well.
The hatred.
Next up is Biogun. It's a hand-drawn Metroidvania game where you play as a pig with a cool gun, and you're inside a dog trying to cure all dogs of some kind of virus. This game sounds bananas, but the art style looks cool, and as soon as you say the word Metroidvania, you have my attention. So Biogun looks really cool, and I'm definitely adding that to my wish list for next year. Now, I don't know anything about the lore of Warhammer. I've never read a Warhammer book. I've never played a Warhammer game, but Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader looks really cool. It's an isometric game where you have to manage cover as well as your various abilities, where snipers can pierce through several targets in a line, or you can use cone attacks with a big flamethrower. Like I said, I don't know anything about Warhammer itself, but from a gameplay aspect, this game looks really cool, and I love turn-based strategy games.
Of glory.
Speaking of turn-based strategy games, Capes is a superhero turn-based strategy game where you have to take back a city that's been lost to the supervillains for 20 years. Because every hero has different powers, and you can take up to 4 with you on each mission, that means that you're probably getting a lot of replayability with capes. The idea of crafting the perfect team for a particular mission and then managing the positioning of your heroes in order to combo your enemy into oblivion sounds super fun. So that's yet another strategy game that I think I'm going to have to add to my list. Now, strategy games are usually fairly slow because you can take your time and really think about your actions. That's why I want to go in the opposite direction and talk about action role-playing games, Superfuse. Superfuse is a hack and slash ARPG with the ability to tailor your power set based on your play style. You can pick and fuse skill sets of your choice and go it alone or go up to with 3 friends. The game has a fantastic art style, and I'm always a huge sucker for a really good ARPG. This is definitely something that I need to add to my wish list so that I can get 3 other friends to add it to their wish list as well, and we can tackle this game together. Let's go! One of the buzzwords that I love hearing when I'm hearing about video games is procedurally generated. So when you launch into the game, it's a different experience every time. And Shadows of Doubt is an open world stealth game where the entire sci-fi noir city with a very advanced Minecraft art direction has you acting as a private investigator trying to track down a serial killer, and every citizen in this city has their own name, their own job, their own apartment, their own daily routine, and all of it is procedurally generated. So when you play through and when I play through, we're gonna get different experiences. That means that this game is gonna have tons of replayability. I think that this looks really cool, and it's on my wish list. So those are just a few of the games that I think are potential hidden gems for 2023. The games that are going to get overshadowed by the huge AAA releases. What did you guys think of my list? Which games did you add to your playlist? Wish list? And which games do you think that I missed out on? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, click on that like button. It helps out a ton and it's free. From the Nerd Nest, I'm Bill. Stay rad, everybody.